Did you ever start a project and lose interest in it before you even got started? That's what happened with these nightstands. Somehow I lost all inspiration. It was once a desk and it was cut apart because it was badly damaged. It was missing parts and just part of it couldn't have been saved. So it was cut apart and then it was given to me to finish into 2 nightstands. I immediately cleaned them, but then they sat in my room for longer than I'd like to admit. Finally, one day I got out my Dixie Belle mud and started filling in the pieces of molding that were missing, just so I can clean up those sides. Now you have to remember that one of the sides of the nightstand is going to face the bed on both sides, so one of them needs to be perfect. I got out my sander and sanded that completely flat, so you couldn't even tell that I touched up those sides. My sander was a lifesaver here because I wouldn't have been able to do this by hand and get it that flat, or take only a couple minutes to do it. But the mud dries really hard, so you just sand it off until it's completely smooth. Once I got that where I needed it to be, I got out my Bonding Boss primer and I primed the entire thing. Yes, I'm priming with the drawers in. The reason I'm doing that is because the drawers fit really tightly and there is a tiny little lip on each side that needs a little bit of paint or primer not to look funny. You can see me opening the drawers to make sure that they're not sticking and there's no paint running, or I can clean off the tops of the drawers. Once I did this, I did take the drawers out, make sure everything was clean, but I painted them for that purpose in the piece. It just gives me a cleaner finish, and then I'm not getting paint where I don't need it inside those drawer holes because this fits so tight. After 2 even coats of Bonding Boss, I wait 24 hours and I'm using Terra Clay Paint to start a really fun ocean blend. This is where I lost really inspiration in the piece. I got this far and then I actually let these sit again for a couple months before I actually moved them up to the shop that I go to once in a while and had them sit there, thinking I would work on them there versus at home. Maybe I would get my inspiration back. That didn't happen. It sat there for another couple months. But you can see me just roughly blending the 2 colors together, and once the whole thing is done, I get out the white Terra Clay paint and I just start spraying and dripping and wiping and spraying and dripping and wiping. I'm trying to create almost like a wave textured drippy finish on top of those blues. Once you see it dry, you'll probably see it a little bit better than here, but I just keep doing it because every time I wipe it away, because I don't want those drips going all the way down, I kind of have to start over until it falls exactly the way I want it to. And here's me doing the side. Same thing, putting paint on, spraying it with water. If there's too much taken away, put some back, and just letting it drip until I really like the way that it came out. Now, Terra Clay paint does dry a little bit less vivid than when it's wet, so I had a hard time figuring out if that's exactly how it was going to look once it was dry. But once it did dry, the overall finish, I was really, really happy with. So I got it sealed with a couple coats of Terra Seal, which is a flat sealer. Terra Clay paint will not seal itself, so you do need to seal it. So these fun little ocean nightstands are now ready for their new home, and they came out better than I thought they were going to be, the way that I lost all inspiration and, to be quite honest, all hope for these nightstands. Thanks so much for watching.